All right, Gianni, you're taking TLSfans.com topic submitted by Jacqueline Robinson. Tell us about it.
Yes. Okay. An anonymous photographer has gone viral online after sharing the story of how she deleted her friend's wedding photos at the wedding after he turned out to be a groomzilla. So the photographer says she started out at 11 a.m. and was supposed to finish by 7:30 p.m. She recounts around 5 o'clock she became hungry and it was hot outside. She needed to take off about 20 minutes, to eat, get some refreshments. She told the groom that that's what she was going to do. He tells her, "You're the photographer. There are no breaks." So she asked him again, "Are you sure I can't take a break?" He says no. So she then begins to delete the photos in his face. Um, and now she posted this story on Reddit, and a lot of people are taking for her. My questions to the panel is: should the photographer have a plate at the wedding, and what would you have done if she deleted your photo?
Bobby.
It's disrespectful. You don't treat a friend like that. If they're doing you a solid and hooking you up for $1,500 under the going rate for a professional photographer, take care of your friend. Respect your friend. Otherwise, it's just abuse. And if I would never find myself in a situation like that because I value people's time and expertise and their generosity. Um, but if I were in a situation like that, I would then just create some kind of online group and ask all of my guests to submit photos and make the best of the situation. Because
Oh,
if they're deleted, they ain't coming back, and that's on me because I was an asshole.
Yep. Lizzie?
I think it should be noted first and foremost that this wasn't just a photographer. This was a friend of the bride and groom who initially had been invited to the wedding, who initially had filled out an RSVP giving their dinner selection for the reception. So it already should have been a given that they were going to be fed. But
Yeah.
even outside of that, listen, I've been in 8 weddings in my life, always a bridesmaid, no shame over here. But I've also been to a host of other weddings outside of that. And I've never seen a situation where at least the photographer has not been fed. And initially, this photographer wasn't asking for a plate, even though they initially thought they were going to get a plate. They were asking for time to step away
Yeah.
so they can get something to eat.
Yeah.
And it was the groom who was like, hell no.
All right.
And if
yeah.
you step away, you're not going to get paid.
All
And
right.
so that's when this photographer was like, okay, if you ain't paying me, delete,
All right.
delete,
Let me get
delete.
up in here. Let
I
me
have
get
no
up in
problems
here.
with this.
I
No
thought,
problems with
I
this.
personally thought it was hilarious. I was initially torn. On one hand, it's a photographer's job to take the photos, but come on, he got an extreme discount. When me and my wife got married, we got a discounted rate from a friend, and nowhere near that price. But it,
Did you give
it
him a
was
plate?
actually,
Did
it
you
was
give?
actually, it was in our contract to give them a plate.
There you
Aw,
go.
It was in the
There you
contract.
go.
So
feed
sometimes you
them.
get what you deserve, so karma sucks. So I'm not mad he deleted it. I would have deleted them too. All right. Is this truth, lies, or shenanigans, guys?
Oh shit.
I'm going with
I keep
truth.
saying I
Truth.
need to give.
I
Oh,
would
sorry. The truth. I need to get a bullshit sign. I need to give a
have
bullshit sign. This is
truth.
such bullshit.
I would have deleted the hell out of
I
those
want a bullshit
photos.
sign.
What
In
would you have done,
2 seconds
Gianni?
flat.
Real quick, Gianni. You ran out of time. What would you have done?
I wouldn't have deleted the photos, but I would have held it over his head like, "Are you gonna pay me more?"
Nah,
Like, what is it called?
nah.
Extortion? No, it's not extortion. But I would have been like, "Are you gonna give me
Yeah,
enough
it's
for this? It's
extortion.
been 2 weeks. You want your photos like that?"
So real quick on the comments, George Fournier says, "I would sue." Laugh out loud. And
Oh,
Paulette Bertrand said, "Should have been discussed before the wedding." Exactly. Like we had it in our
yeah.
contract. Like she's like, I saw Jacqueline Robinson who actually came up with the topic. Absolutely, it's bad enough they only paid her $250. Cheap. Was it 250 or fifteen
It,
Yep.
it
hundred?
was 250. It
Good
was
250.
God, that's
250.
ridiculous. My wedding planner included the cost of meals for the photographer, singers, catering contract, etc. I could never imagine having someone work a wedding on a Saturday night without feeding them. Just
Right.
horrible. George Fournier says
I
the
would.
photographer should have recognized the importance of the day and not deleted the pictures. Discussed
Whatever. How about the
after
bride
the
and
wedding.
groom recognize the importance
He-
of the day? You don't shortchange
Yeah,
people
he took
on the
advantage.
best day of your life. And
right?
remember, initially, this photographer was asking for a break. not to be fed. He was
I thought they
asking
were.
for
I
a
thought it
break.
was asking to be fed. I thought it was, and which is reasonable. But I see what he's saying. I mean, discuss it after the wedding, though. I agree with that. I still would have deleted him personally, but
Yeah, and had no shame about it. No shame. You're not
because
going to
you
shortchange
don't care
me.
about
And so
me, I don't care about you.
exactly. And I'm supposed to be your
But there's
All
still a
friend.
right,
way you can
we
make
could do.
some
We covers
money.
an after show. We covered an after show. All right.
I'm supposed to be your friend. Whatever.
All
Whatever.
right. All right, Lizzie. Let's get to your topic. We have you got an interesting quick fire. Let's go.
So my topic involves this young woman who is a cancer patient. She has stage 5 cancer. She's in Colorado, and she needs a kidney transplant, right? And so she's also an anti-COVID vaxxer. And so she was told by the hospital where she was seeking to get the transplant, where she was initially on the transplant list, that if she does not get the COVID vaccine, she is no longer eligible for the transplant. This became huge headlines, not only in Colorado, but also nationwide. And so, in turn, citing her reasons for not wanting to get the transplant as not wanting to get the vaccine, the current vaccinations for COVID are associated with stem cell research, and she is anti stem cell, anything. Therefore, she is choosing not to get the vaccine, henceforth not being eligible for the transplant. So my question to the panel is, who's wrong here? Not necessarily who's wrong, but more specifically, is the hospital wrong? Let's go to Gianni.
Yeah.
I was struggling on this one because there are ethical issues. I feel like when it comes to and I've read a couple of articles that considered it coercion, like medical coercion, for her to be vaccinated before receiving a transplant. So I feel torn, but there was a good argument made that if she's acting almost selfishly when it comes to this transplant, because there are people that are vaccinated and also receiving transplant. So there are people following the rules and
Robbie.
receiving this herd immunity,
Robbie.
and she's not. So there's
Yeah, so I think that it makes sense to
point.
me. If my doctor can tell me to quit smoking as a condition to be under their care, and this is the same principle but applied in the surgical area. The healthcare system has a responsibility to ensure that resources are distributed fairly and to reserve transplants for those with the greatest possible positive outcome. So, kidney transplant for someone who may contract the Rona and die of their symptoms, or to reserve it for someone who, if they contract the Rona and have the vaccine, have a much higher probability of survival, is the responsible choice to make.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's wrong. I mean, I think every transplant, every situation has to be taken case by case, and there are probably some situations where it doesn't make sense to get the vaccine. But if I have to make a choice personally between, okay, my doctors, yes, it's a threat, a risk taking the vaccine, and the risk of dying from kidney failure, I'm going to choose getting kidneys and getting the vaccine. Lizzie?
Also, people need to understand that risk management is a part of the healthcare system, is a
Yep.
part of the medical management of patients. And if you look at organ donations, the organ transplant system, getting the COVID vaccine is actually at the bottom of the list. You have to go through several different protocols and requirements. You have to be completely vaccinated, even without COVID. You have to be completely vaccinated. You can't be a smoker. If you're a previous smoker, you have to stop smoking. If you're an alcoholic, you have to stop drinking. You can't have any diseases. If they find that you are violating those protocols, you get tossed off the list.
Okay.
Her
So this is
specific
not
reason though
uncommon.
was because the fetal cells. So it was a religious reason, which, like I said, I understand like the ethical
We got to
issues,
cut
but
it.
I do feel
We got to cut it for time.
But
We gotta cut
even
it.
with the
no
fetal cells,
problem.
the medications post transplant,
We got to
the
cut you off.
medications for that include
I'm gonna have to,
medications
I'm
that
gonna have to,
have
I'm gonna have to
I
fetal
get a
still have
mute
those
cells.
button. I'm
things.
gonna have to start getting a
Mm,
mute button. That's
sorry.
So
all right. So let's get to these comments online. Jessica Lynn Verdi, I'm dying in the green room.
we coming to you, Jessica. We coming to you, Jessica.
Yeah, I mean, she's laughing. She's having a good time. All right, so let's see. We got let's see. I'm sorry, I lost it for a second. Jose says, I was hoping somebody would pick this topic. Mike Winter says the Pope has already said that the vaccine is not anti-Catholicism. Also, the real problem is the immunosuppressive drugs that we will need to take post-transplant. George Fournier
That is
says, at least in Canada, and I suspect it's the same as the US, they won't give a liver transplant to an alcoholic. Organs are so
boom.
rare that conditions should attach to organ donation.
It's
Same
scary.
should apply to COVID as well. Jacqueline Ralph
Boom.
says, I realize there is an ethical oath doctors take. However, we're in a triage situation now, and those who have the best chance of survival should take priority.
Yeah, that's how all of their
Boom.
all of the
All right.
Boom. If I need a liver transplant and they told me to stop drinking tomorrow, okay, I'm done. No more Stoli for me. I'm done.
All right. Let me get to the next. All right.
So, what are we calling on this?
Good call. Shenanigans.
Truth. She brought this on herself.
Girl, you better take that vaccine and save your life. You better take it. You better take it.
This is so sad. That's so sad.
All right.
Ooh, what is this, Neo?
So, much of our audience may or may
Who are
not be
these people?
aware of the boy band B2K, but tensions have
Are
been
these
high between bandmates of the group after band member Lil Fizz started dating bandmate Omarion's former fiance and mother of his two children, April Jones, some of which played out on television Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Well, Fizz recently apologized to Omarion publicly when he joined Omarion live on stage at the Millennium Tour, saying, I want to sit here humbly and sincerely apologize for any turmoil or dysfunction I caused between you and your family. Omarion seems to have accepted the apology, calling it appropriate. My question is, did Fizz break the friend code, and would you have accepted the apology after a friend did something like that? I'll start with Lizzie.
I mean, I do have a code. You know, if I'm fucking with somebody, if I'm dating somebody or whatever, anyone who knows me closely, intimately, they're off limits. However, this is Hollywood.
Ooh.
There are no boundaries in Hollywood. This happens all the time. Eric Clapton married his good friend George Harrison's wife, Patty Boyd. Jermaine Jackson married
make
his
it right,
own
though?
brother's wife. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying this is the culture, the world that they live in. Jermaine Jackson married his brother Randy's wife.
I'm going to
ex-wife.
ask Jessica.
Like this is nothing new. So
She's
yeah,
in Hollywood.
and
I'm going to ask her.
yeah, Hollywood is different. It's a different code there. It's a
right.
different code there.
Robbie?
At the very least, it's a conversation. If you have developed genuine feelings for your friend's baby mama, former ex, then that's a conversation with your friend. And you ask them if they would be cool with it. And
That's what I
whether
would
or
do.
not the apology was sincere, like I watched it, and it was definitely a
It felt
public
sincere.
fanfare of an apology. So based on that, the only way that I could accept that apology is if he would have approached me prior to the show, before making a big public PR stunt apology. The words
Right,
were
yeah.
sincere, but at the end of the day, we're talking about B2K.
Gianni, real quick.
Who? B2 who?
Go ahead,
B2
Gianni.
who?
Go quick. We run out of time.
I was gonna say first, I can't even get mad at the friendship thing because I don't believe they were ever friends. That's not possible. I can get mad
Ooh.
at the baby mom, and I think that it was on her part. I'm the most angry because I feel
I don't
like
know,
that
baby
was the
mom is,
smarmiest ever said. No, that's horrible. That's horrible. But the friendship, I don't think they were friends. I think they were just bandmates. And even Lil Fizz himself denied them being friends, so that's a good lie. Okay.
I got 10 seconds. I would have accepted this shit. The friendship would have been done for life. I could see working through a situation for
And
work.
Gianni said they weren't friends.
I
Gianni
think
said
they
they weren't friends.
Okay, so if they weren't friends, then
Fine.
okay, that changes the dynamic a little bit. I don't know. I was under the impression they were friends. All right, but either way, yeah, I might have saved face and had a public face and apology and stuff like that just to make sure I could keep making money. But I wouldn't have forgiven him at all.
Yeah, it did seem fake.
Fair.
Too.
All right, Truth Lies Shenanigans.
Bullshit.
Shenanigans.
It's a who? B2 who? Who are these people?
B2K.
That's what it is. It's a who?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Fred Hargrove says, "Who?" And then Jose responded with, "Seriously, like who?" All right. So Jacqueline Ross says 2 of my best girlfriends fell out because of this issue. They made up, but the friendship was never the same. As Simon would say, it's a no for me. Olivia says this was a whole bunch of old names. It's not that usual, and it wasn't so
It's
captivating.
all over Hollywood. Trust me. Trust me. You look up Hollywood's dirty secrets, they all sleeping with one another.
and
All of them.
Mike Winter says, Nia, that totally fits what I would expect you to say. I'll leave it at that. All right, that was good. That was a lot of fun, guys. That was a lot of fun. Good quick fire topics. All right.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.